Esme's mother had the gift, and her mother before her, and so on and so on. She remembered the first time it manifested. She had been over at a friend's house for a slumber party. Everyone else was asleep. They had too much sugar and crashed early. But not Esme. Esme tossed and turned. 3 slices of cake and 3 bottles of soda to match. Too much, she had thought to herself. She had opened her eyes and was staring at the ceiling above, the roof dotted with glow-in-the-dark stars, their glow dim and fading, the paint beginning to peel and shed in several places. That's when she felt the eyes on her. She turned to face the darkened doorway, and there they stood. Whoever they were. Shrouded, just a silhouette. "Hello?" she said to it. "Who's there?" Silence. They didn't respond to her, just stood there. "Who are you?" Esme's voice had woken her friend, who began to look back and forth from the doorway to Esme. "Who are you talking to?" her friend had asked her, but when little Esme looked back, they were gone. That was the first time. Throughout her life, she could see these people, faceless, nameless, but never scary, just there. Maybe it was her gift that made her unafraid. Maybe she just didn't scare easy. As she grew, she honed her gift, and within a few years had one of those shops people always walk by and either ridicule or voice their curiosity, but never step inside. Those who did always got the answers they sought, even if they didn't know what they wanted. Esme was good. Very good. She had developed a reputation. People came to her for so many things, and she always delivered. It was a cold day in January when a young woman stepped through her front door. The bell rang, and the cold filled the store until the door shut behind her. She wanted to know about her love life. Another one, Esme thought to herself. It was always over love, money, or success. Never about fate itself, though. But Esme did her job. She gathered the trinkets and oils and incense and tarot cards. She flipped them, they told a story. She lit the incense and stared into her crystal ball. She saw a handsome young man from China slide a ring around the woman's finger. She said yes. They both kissed and hugged. After, the woman thanked and paid her. But as she stepped out of the door, she stopped and said, "It must be nice having such a wonderful gift. To be able to know what's in your future and avoid the pitfalls of life. To know the day you'll meet the love of your life. I would do anything to be able to have that kind of power." And then the woman stepped out into the cold world. Esme just stood there, behind the counter. She had never looked into her own future. Her mother had warned her not to, and her mother before hers, and so on and so on. It wasn't because of some curse, or something bad may happen. It was just kind of a warning. It will take the excitement away. It's the not knowing, her mother had said. But Esme was curious. No, not just curious, but lonely. She had had love before in her life, but it never lasted. She tended to scare them off in the middle of the night with her sleep chanting and occasionally conversing with the dead, which was understandable. But now, she wanted to know. Who was waiting for her? She set everything up, repeated the process she had done over and over again, and looked deep into the crystal sphere. Past its flaws and impurities, into the core of it, into the future. One shrouded with gray and rain and stone. She saw a graveyard. She read the name on the grave. Bobby Blake. Esme leaned back in confusion. She didn't understand, so she tried again. And again. Each time she was brought back to the same image. Bobby Blake. Here he lies. That's when she finally understood. When it all clicked. He's dead, she finally had to admit to herself. My soulmate is dead. And I never even got to know him. This was obviously a huge hit to her. Her heart sank. Days of depression followed. She never even had a chance. Dead before the heartbeat. Before it fluttered and made her feel as if she was filled with butterflies. It was too late. Or was it? She tried to reach out and contact his spirit, but it never answered. Maybe, she thought, maybe if I go visit his grave. So she did. The sky was overcast. Rain poured and puddles splashed as she stepped through them on the way to meet her soulmate for the first time. When she arrived, she just stared at the grave. And stared. She felt something for this dead stranger she shouldn't. She hadn't realized she had been slowly lowering her umbrella and was now soaked, until the sudden shield from the downpour caught her attention. Esme turned and faced an older woman. She had a kind face, ever so slightly wrinkled, and pulled into a warm but pained smile. Don't want to catch a cold, she said to Esme under the fabric. Esme returned her smile with one laden with hidden pain. They both stood there for a moment, staring at the grave. Are you his mother? Esme asked the older woman. I am, she responded. What was he like? Bobby was a good boy. A good man, she corrected herself. Died 1 year ago. Pushed a kid out of the way of a bus. He was a hero. The older woman cried. Esme cried. They both held each other under the rain, the umbrellas fallen away. I so very wish he had met someone like you. For some reason, I have a feeling the two of you would have gotten along nicely. Yeah, I think we would have too. She never did find his spirit. Most likely, he moved on. Without her. Esme continued to live her life as she would have normally. Only with the cursed knowledge of knowing no matter how many times she loved, no matter who, no matter how happy she was, it would never be enough. Because it could have been so much more. So much better. Years and years passed. Esme grew old. She grew tired and weak. And then came the last day her shop would be open. It was a warm summer day. The bell rang. In stepped a young man. He was looking for love. Esme did what she had so many times before. She gathered the trinkets and oils and incense and tarot cards. She flipped them, they told a story. She lit the incense and stared into her crystal ball. She saw a grave with a woman's name. Julia Calloway. She glanced up at the young man, who smiled back at her and leaned in with eyes wide and hopeful. So, he said to her, what do you see? Esme hesitated. And then, I see a beautiful young woman. She lied. I see so much love in your future.